Well, hello once more. Had a cold this week, so my voice might sound a bit dark brown, but it's getting a lot better. Um, I want to show you today a couple of cards that I made with a technique. I don't know what it's called. It's whereby you have an image on the top. In this case, it's a word over a base, and both are embossed. And the pattern of the embossing matches from what you put on the top to what is underneath. And there are a couple of ways of doing it. This one, I've stuck these letters directly onto the base. It's stacked once. I've got the top layer embossed, the next layer is plain. I just stuck the two together and then put it down. This one, I don't know if you can see this, but this one is popped up onto foam pads. So it's a lot more dramatic and it looks like it sticks up a lot further than that one. Depends which way you want to do it. These were actually both made with the same technique, but I'm going to do a second technique today that is probably a bit of a quick way round. That doesn't entail quite so much fiddling about, but we'll just have a go with it and see. This one, I coloured the base piece of card inside the embossing folder. This is a Sizzix Foliage 3D embossing folder, and I inked the embossing folder with distress ink, spritzed it, printed it with 3 different colours of ink. And once it was done, I just added a little bit of gilding wax over the top. Then I did the process of adding the letters, and I'll show you how I lined all those up. This one, I didn't use inks. I used, what's it called? Shimmer powder, Nouveau shimmer powder. But both of them have got gilding wax over the top, highlighting the embossing. I think that's one of the great things about gilding wax, actually, particularly with embossing, because it does, look at that, just brings it to life. So I'm going to show you how I did the basic process. I've got 2 mock-ups here. This is what I've got in my head, what I think is going to happen. Whether it actually does is anybody's guess, really. But anyway, I'm going to try and do With Love today. I've got 2 different layouts. This one I'm going to do with the same technique as the 2 I just showed you. This one I'm going to do the kind of quick way. It's a bit like the Eclipse technique, this one. But you do it slightly differently because you're embossing and you can't die cut after you've embossed, otherwise you flatten your embossing. Clear as mud, you say. Shall we start off and see where we go? Let's put this out of the way for a moment. I have cut a few extra of the this die, and I'm using a single die for this for ease for this video. Really, you can use individual letters. This one, for example, is just individual letters from an alphabet so that you could write any word you want. But for ease today, I'm going to do a one word die that's all joined up. It makes it a lot simpler to show you. But the principle is the same whether you use one die or whether you use a bunch to make a word. Okay, let us put this away for a moment and I'll show you how far I've got. So this is going to be the basic layout for my card. This is going to be the embossed bit. That's going to be embossed. This will be stuck on later. I found this little word die. I don't know what make it is. It says with. It's with a whole bunch that says step and daughter and son and all this kind of stuff. Can't remember the make. And there's another one here, and this one. I've cut a few of these. This is quite good because the tittle for the eye is is joined. So over the corner there, I've got about 3 that have gone AWOL for this one, which I might have to rescue later on. So let's see how we go. This one, I thought I would put up on foam pads, the same as I did the other one, so I can tie a little charm to hang from the E. That's the idea. Whether it happens, we'll see. So first of all, first things first, I'm going to emboss this piece of background panel. This is the embossing folder I'm going to use. It's a Tim Holtz. What's it called? Has it got a name? China and China, Ellison, Sizzix, Tim Holtz. Can't see a name. I think it might be called Circuits or something. Anyway, there you go. Doesn't matter really. So I'm going to put this in. I don't know if there's any little bit that's any better than any other, but don't know. I just put it down. I'll put it down. Right. Right there. Okay, I'm going to close it up and just pop this through my cattle bug. There we go. Okay. So there I have my circuits onto this. So the next proposition is how to colour it. So I thought this time I would use this shimmer powder. Before you do put a piece of card through a 3D folder, it is often a really good idea to give it a spritz of water. Just a mist, not a splodge, a mist, just so that the paper relaxes and will emboss more easily. This particular folder, I found it's not too bad, but for some reason, it seems to emboss more deeply near the hinge than it does down at the bottom end. So I don't know why that should be, but there you go. Anyway, look, I'm going to spritz this with water now, and I'm going to add a little of the shimmer in the folder. Here we go. Right. Now this one, often the stuff comes out in the lid. Don't know if it's going to. You see, it's not even, it's all around the screw top. It's not. Look, there it goes in. There's lots of lovely colours within these. Right, let me just give this another little spritz, and I'm just going to put it through again. Oh, look. Isn't that interesting? Am I in the right place? I think so. Do you know, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to just add a bit more. Discretion is often the greater point of valor. I'm just going to leave this as a... Look at all the colours. It's called something about a lunar rocket, this one. A bit more water. Okay. Right. Now then, in order to... I'm going to dry that off just a moment. Sorry about the noise. Now, you can see it's kind of bumpy, but that's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back into here. and I'm going to feel when it's engaged in this bottom one, that's the raised up section. I'm going to close it up, put it back into my Cuttlebug and give it another swish through. There we go. Now, open it up. There. Now, you can feel, if you slide it around, you can feel when it's engaged with all the little doodads there. So now I want to decide where I want to put this sentiment bit. I'm just going to dry this water off here. You'll see the reason for that in a minute. Okay. Back it goes. Yeah, that's where it fits. Okay. I'm going to place this to the right because I know I want to have the width kind of there somewhere. So I want to have that about here. Okay. Now, this is so that this top one, the embossing, will match with the embossing underneath. So to keep it where it's supposed to be, I'm just going to make a kind of hingey thing. Take that out, so that's in the right place. I'm going to close it up, put it through my machine. What have I done with my plate? Oh, there we go. Oh, don't get old, whatever you do, don't get old. You forget all sorts of stuff. Put stuff down, can't find it. I don't know. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. Right, there we go. So now that is also embossed, and it's embossed in just the place I want it to be there. Okay, now I'm going to very carefully take off my masking tape. This low tack, it's not masking tape, it's low tack tape. This stuff is lovely. It does what it says. It grabs hold of stuff, but it doesn't wreck the card when you come to take it off. It's by Stix 2, STIX number 2. So there. Now, they look a bit insipid at the moment. This is where the gilding wax comes in. And some people want to give gilding wax an honourable title, like it was in a guild of merchants or something with a U. But gilding wax is just with an I, Gilding. Sorry, it's the teacher in me coming out. Can't help it. You ask my husband about that, he'd soon tell you. My goodness. Now, I'm going to get some a little relief on all of this. The shimmer powder itself has got some, shine in it, but the gilding wax picks up all the high bits. I don't add it directly from the pot because it comes out in a great blob then, but pick it up from the mat, it's a lot better. There we go. May decide to give this a little edge of a silver or a grey or something, I don't know. Now, that at the minute is not going to show up much, is it? So let's stack a few of these. And the way I stack things is, I get this off now because if you don't take it off straight away, you'll need something like an alcohol to get it off. But it comes off it pretty readily. But if you do it straight away, just a wet wipe will do the job. Okay. Now, here are some, as Blue Peter would say, I cut earlier. And I'm just going to glue them together. Now, I like to use this kind of jiffy, what's it called? A zig pen, beg your pardon. A zig pen, because it's a wet glue. And that means that if you're trying to align a couple of things, you can have a bit of, jiggle room, a bit of move in it, because you can slide whatever. Let's put Another one on the top. This is why I said my videos do tend to go on a bit, so this is why I've used this one word rather than showing you with individual letters. But the process is exactly the same if you use individual letters rather than a word die like this. I can't remember the make of this one. I've had it for yonks. I've got a few. I've in the back of my mind, I've got an idea it's from a company that's perhaps gone out of it. Is it W+9 or something? Can't remember. I have got boxes and boxes of packaging from dies and stamps and all this kind of stuff. Told myself, oh, I'll need those so that I know, but I've got so much I can't get through it to see what's what. Let's put the embossed one on the top now. So how many layers have I got there? 2 or 3? Can't remember. 2. This will be the 3rd layer, and you can always add more underneath if you find it's not enough. And I always like to glue what I'm going to stick the top one onto, so that I'm not actually, if I can help it, putting glue on the back of something that's going to be shown on the front of the card, just in case I get any splodges on it, which is often the case, it has to be said. Okay, there we are. Now I could do it a different colour. I could do all sorts, really. It depends what you fancy. I'm just going to do this quickly just to show you. This might not contrast enough, and I often change my mind once I've started on things, you know, to have an idea in my head, and when I start doing it, I think, oh God, that looks awful. Can't do that. I have to change that. It doesn't show up terribly, so I may well do something, but just for the idea of it now, white better. There's my wet wipe. One thing you can do to give it some relief is to put it onto foam tape. So I've got my foam tape here, and turn this over. Let's just dry that patch there. Turn that over, sticky scissors, and we'll cut some bits of tape like this, stick them behind, and so on. So that would go on like that, and so that would have definite relief. Actually, it looks, because it's raised up, it looks quite nice. So this is the idea of this, and I don't want to go on too long. I'd tie that on with a bit of thread, twine or whatever, and I might put that in pink or something. So that's the idea for that one. So that's just to get that into your mind, how I did that one. So the other way, which is, as I said, more like the Eclipse way, is this. So what I've done, I'm going to have this one in a square. So I cut a square with one of my press cut dies. I die cut the word love, and I've put a piece of this low tack tape just across the back, because I need to have the middle of the O and the bit inside the E. I need to have that embossed, so I can't lose those. So let me take out the word love. There we go. And I have die cut a grey one here. So I'm just going to pop that inside there. And now, just make sure this is clean for all the other business. I'm going to emboss the whole lot of this. Okay. doesn't matter where I put it really. I think that's square. Yeah. I don't know whether you should put this in open end or closed end when you, but I go both ways anyway with a 3D embossing folder. To be honest, when I saw 3D embossing folders, the things I saw were, they were just, I don't know, big floral things, and I thought, oh, that and see, you know, clean and simple doesn't seem to go. So I was kind of put off from them, but I got one with my Sizzix switch, and you know, I really liked it, and I thought, well, there are lots of ways that you can use this with clean and simple cards, using part of them, either only embossing part or embossing the whole thing, but then using part of it. And the effect with inking is fabulous because there are multi-layers within the folder. You can get different inky effects, and I'm only just kind of trying to find out what you can do. So I've ordered some more. My friend Tara at Seven Hills Crafts is probably sorting out my order as we speak. Well, no, she won't. It's Easter Monday. She's having a day off. So what I've done, I've carefully taken that word out. You can see that it's embossed. You'll see it more once I put some of this on the top. Now what I want to do is to add some levels to build up the relief. So what I'm going to do is join these together. And I will probably take the low tack off the back of there once they're in, and put some more permanent things to make sure it's held in place. Or I could just stick the whole lot down, doesn't really make a lot of difference. I do ramble on, I am sorry. Right, let's put the next one on top of that. This, you might find this one a bit more straight, this way a little bit more straightforward really, but I've done this technique with loads of times. I suppose you call it the Eclipse, where you stamp up an image or have an image of some description and die cut something from it, and then save the bits, inlay some other pieces, and then put the original one back on the top, and it looks as if it's floating out of your card. It's a super effect. So that would go in there, and already you can see the relief, and that one would go on the top. I just put the bit of gilding wax on this one, and you see the effect. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. Just to highlight, got a bit much, just to highlight the silvery bits. And this one is particularly good on a dark one because it's got lots of sort of, I don't know, they look like things inside a computer or something, don't they? So there we go. I do say that a lot as well. Oh, goodness me. My English teacher would have gone crazy when I was a kid. There we are. Looks quite industrial almost, doesn't it, really? Quite good for chaps' cards, I think. So if you look at that now, can you see? It's quite dramatic. So that's, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think, you know, you can develop whatever you do, however you wish, really. But this is the basic technique. So whether I use one of these across there, in here, colour in the back, the Welsh lobster, you know, you can just do what you like. It's all about creativity. Often you see something on the internet. I saw somebody doing a similar sort of technique to this one, and it just sparked a few ideas with me. So here are the cards again that I made. Different techniques. There's the one that, like this one, that you put it on foam tape. This one where you can actually build up that layer if you wish to, but this one would be easy to hang a tag onto or something like that, just to add a little bit more interest. So there we are. Have a go, as I always say, and I hope you enjoy the process. Thanks for watching.